Despite there not being much DC news going on, there's actually a little DC news going on. For one reason or another, Sasha Calle, Supergirl from the Flash movie, is in the news. After having an interview of sorts with The Hollywood Reporter, she revealed that she actually had a multi-picture deal to portray Supergirl after The Flash. Now, what's interesting about this is we kind of already knew this. We knew what the deal was. What the plan was that she was going to replace Henry Cavill in the DCEU as the Superman, the Supergirl, the Kryptonian, I should say, within the DCEU. They could not work out a deal with Henry Cavill to be the Superman in the universe. Not only that, they didn't have a Batman. Ben Affleck moved on, essentially. He didn't want to stay and be a big part of that universe, so they hired Leslie Grace to be Batgirl, and they wanted to move on this girl power direction within the DCEU. And, well, people weren't overly excited about it, and I mean, we see what's been going on in Hollywood with Marvel. Even Marvel was going that direction with all of the films and all of the projects they were pushing with girl power. And again, you don't take what are mainly male-centric brands and start pushing a full female initiative. It's not to say that females can't enjoy them, but you just don't go that route. But here, look, I digress. It's not what we're here to talk about today. We're going to talk about this story about her because she goes, I look forward to working with people in the industry who see my value and who are excited to work with me. Okay. Now, some people say that's a shot at James Gunn, that's a shot at Warner Brothers. It really isn't. I mean, if we take a look at the article, if you read the whole article over at The Hollywood Reporter, she kind of goes over what happened. I mean, she was a little upset about everything, how it played out, absolutely, as any actor would be. Now, she says here towards the end of the article, she goes, it was very heartbreaking for me and it was very confusing. Ultimately, I know I did my best. It's been said that a queer Latina girl like me couldn't be Supergirl, but I was, and no one can take that away from me. That is the most important thing for me. I did something that mattered, and whether you saw yourself represented in me or not, a lot of people really connected with her and loved her. Okay, I don't really see in this article, I've read it twice now, where she was really kind of throwing any kind of shade. There was no shade really thrown at all. I mean, she talks about how it was difficult. You know, they talked about the Ezra Miller stuff, how it was difficult to kind of navigate through that. They talk about even a little bit of how the studio went in a new direction after Zaslav and Discovery came in. Again, there's a lot of people who want to sit here and say that she's throwing shade at James Gunn. You want to know who those people are? It's people like this. KS 05202, or whatever his name is. Cell DC, he's one of these Snyder bros, of course. And, you know, weird how Gunn didn't hire someone who was in, quote-unquote, the best comic book movie ever, according to him. Again, why do they say things like this? They say things like this that just are asinine, that are absolutely dumb. You know, there's another thing here that was shown. We need Sasha Calle's Supergirl and Henry Cavill's Superman and Man of Steel 2 fighting Brainiac, directed by Zack Snyder. These people just don't understand what they want. They've lost all realization, understanding of what they've been fighting for. I remember when all of this was coming to fruition, The Flash was coming to fruition, and there was talk about Sasha Calle coming in to portray Supergirl. First off, all of these Snyder fans were upset because that's not Zack Snyder's Supergirl. That's not Kara Zor-El. That's not who it's supposed to be. She's not blonde. How dare they? They were upset about her portraying Kara Zor-El. They were upset about this. Then when they found out that it was because they couldn't bring Henry Cavill and they weren't bringing him back and that they were replacing him with her, they got even more mad. They try and find ways to twist the narrative, twist these stories simply to try and find ways to, get at Gunn for some reason. Nothing that was said in this article was to get at Gunn. Nothing was said in this article to get at DC Studios. It was basically just talking about her time, how it was a difficult time. She really loved playing that role. She was hoping that there was going to be more. She signed on for more. It ended up not happening. But she is going to, like, she loves the time that she got to play this role. And that's what the article's about. But you have people here who just flip the narrative. And it's absurd. It's outrageous. It's crazy. Look, I would have loved to have seen her continue on in the role in the right way, in the right context, not the way that Hamada was going to run the DCEU and creating this, like I said, girl power DCEU. No, if they would have utilized Supergirl as Supergirl and having your Superman and your Batman and your Batgirl and having him like all established properly, absolutely, because I thought she was phenomenal in The Flash. Again, The Flash was a good movie. It had a great story, and she was a big reason why. But you're going to sit here and try and use what she's saying to undercut and take a swing at James Gunn for no reason. This is the kind of stuff that needs to stop within the fandom. There's no reason for it at all. It just needs to stop. It really does. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you have to say. Were you a fan of Sasha Calle as Supergirl? I liked her. I thought she did really well. And look, yeah, I think she's a good actress, and maybe she could pop up in some other way in the DCU at some point down the line. Maybe not. Maybe she makes the jump over to Marvel. Who knows? But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. With all that said, I'll check you all out later.